Hi, Girl Bosses. It's Sandra Davis, and I just wanted to come to you today and start our series about positivity. So this year coming up, 2019, I have chosen my word. You know, we all have a word that we are going to start following, correct? So look for something in your mailbox, or I'll hand it to you in person, but it's going to be your word. You're going to create your word. So we've been doing this every year now for several years, creating the word to live by. And this year's word for myself and the overall Girl Boss word is going to be positivity. And the reason why I chose positivity is because even though the subject might seem to be being worn out quite a bit, with all the negativity in the world, who couldn't use a dose of positivity? So in the process, I've been looking for ways to promote myself internally to be positive. So a friend of mine, her name is Leanne Moore, she introduced me to this diet. Yep, it's not your typical diet. It, in fact, is a 7-day mental diet. And I've been studying about it, reading about it, and I have enjoyed what I've learned so far. And it's been pretty incredible because it's been also a test, and it tests me every day, and that's okay. Basically, what it is for 7 days straight, I don't allow a negative thought to take me over. With a better way of saying that is if a negative thing comes my way, the exercise is I don't dwell on it. The key word here is dwell. You don't want to dwell on negativity. And trust me, you can't help it. You know, what is it that so much negativity comes to us and it can take us over, quite frankly. And then you get in this bad mood and you get into a rut. I don't care what it is. If you hear something bad on the news, or if you go somewhere and you meet somebody and they have an overall general negativity and it wears off on you, or if something happens unexpectedly that takes you away from what you're doing, anything bad that can happen, you misplace something, or something happens to one of your kids, or somebody gets sick, or whatever it is, if it's adverse, something happens, a negative feeling comes over you, and it can take you over, and it can ruin your day. It can ruin your whole plan. It can ruin your entire goal set. So with that being said, this is a practice of how to get beyond negativity, and don't let it take you over. Don't dwell on the things that are going to come to you that are negative. So trust me, it's going to happen. It happens all the time. And again, it comes down to choices. Do you want to let that negative thing take you over, or do you want to beat it and take it over? So what I want to ask you to do is, so this man named Emmett Fox wrote the 7-day mental diet, and it was presented in a pamphlet form back in 1935. So he was like one of the blaze runners for all of this stuff. So we've heard about this, we've heard about the law of attraction and all of that. And all of these people who wrote this stuff, or all these people that went before us, they had this incredible idea that if you replace all of your negative thoughts with positive thoughts, you're going to have success in your future. You're going to have great things come to you, because what you put out into the universe, you attract back, and it becomes, makes your life even better. It makes you make your goals. It makes you have things you never thought of. It makes you grow in ways you never thought of. It's all about your mindset. So some of us get stuck up in this whole entire world of negativity, and you kind of stay in it. And the idea, again, is the key word is don't dwell on the negative things that come your way. So how you do this is you begin to think and you begin to focus. And the idea here is that if a negative thought comes your way, then within 6 seconds, you exchange it with a positive thought. It's been proven. You can't think of something that you're happy about and think of something that you're negative about. You need to focus on, they can't do. It's like water and oil mixing. You can't have a happy thing at the same time you have a negative thing. So what you need to do is you need to focus on that happy thing. You need to have a go-to. You need to have that thought in your mind of something that you've ever been happy about, that like the best thing you've ever been happy about. And you need to focus on that. So if a negative thing presents itself, you've got to put on your brain correctly, and you need to focus, and you need to say, okay, this has happened now. I'm not going to dwell on it right at the moment. I'm going to deal with it later when I have a clearer perspective, and I am going to move forward. I am going to replace that negative thought with a happy thought so you can keep up the momentum of being positive and happy. Does that make any sense to you? I'm sure it does. Now, you have to practice it, because once you start thinking about positive stuff, then when a negative thing comes to you, it's just a little bit more prominent. So this is just a test. It's the tricks. It's the tricks of how your mind works. I don't know what it is, but I used to work for a life coach, and she was a fabulous woman. And she taught me something that has stuck with me for so long, that if we have a question about something we don't know the answer to, we make it up in our head. And then that 9 times out of 10, that is a negative thought. So a good example would be like, my daughter, she drives 8 hours to college by herself in a car that's a little older model. And I'll call her on the phone, or I'll text her. Well, you shouldn't text and drive, right? And I'll say, hey, when you stop, give me a text. Well, I pretty much know that she would stop at a certain point. And if I haven't heard from her, I begin thinking, gosh, I hope she's all right. Wonder what happened. I hope she didn't break down. Oh my gosh, I hope she didn't come across some creep. Or, you always tend to go towards the negative thing. And I just cannot understand why. I think that somewhere along the world, we were forced to think about survival. And then that always conjures up, you got to think about the worst. Kind of like in the DMV manual, it says that when you're driving down the road, you're supposed to expect the worst. So if little Johnny's on the side of the corner and he's playing ball and you're coming up on Johnny, you need to picture his ball going onto the street. So you'll take action to slow down. And if Johnny's running after the ball, nobody's going to get hit or run over. That was in the DMV manual when I was going through it. I remember that. So don't think the negative thing. Don't dwell on negative stuff. If something big happens that's really negative and adverse, of course you're going to not accept it well, and you're not going to feel all that great about it for a while, or you might end up having to put everything else to the side and dwell on that. But the thing is try your very best to figure out how you can get out of the negative zone and get into the positive zone. Look for anything that's going to be good out of that negativity, okay? And just go from there. So coming up, we're going to be doing some different questionnaires. We're going to have some question and answers. We're going to bring in some speakers here that are going to help with this topic as we go into the new year. We're going to talk about how it's going to serve you to the best of your ability, and we're going to learn how to overcome negativity, and we're going to go on a diet together. You're not going to have to worry about food here. It's all going to be up here, and it's all 100% free. You're not going to have to spend any money on this. You're going to learn something valuable, and we're going to do this together. So thank you, girl bosses. I appreciate you being here and hearing about the 7-day diet and how we're going to conquer negativity and be positive throughout 2019. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.